Have you ever stopped to think about what happens when a millionaire, known for his coldness and disdain, publicly humiliates his family's nanny? What might seem like just another episode of cruelty can trigger an unexpected twist. In this story, we follow Rafael Valente, a man whose arrogance led him to overlook the true worth of those around him. However, when he decides to come home early, what he finds challenges everything he thought he knew about respect and humanity. Prepare for an emotional journey that reveals how a simple gesture can completely transform someone's perception, and how pain can open one's eyes to what truly matters. Discover how humility and recognition can emerge from the most unexpected situations, and how true wealth is revealed when least expected. Don't miss this story that promises to touch your heart and change your view on the true value of people. Stay with us and see how a surprising twist can teach the deepest life lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, sign up now to ensure you don't miss any of our exciting stories. Don't miss out on what we have prepared for you. The rise of the millionaire Rafael Valente. Rafael Valente always dreamed big. From a young age, he spent hours dreaming about the day when his name would be known worldwide, not just as a businessman, but as a true magnate. He grew up in a humble neighborhood, where his father was a dedicated mechanic and his mother a tireless seamstress. Despite financial limitations, his parents taught him the value of hard work and perseverance. Rafael's ambition was immense. When he finished college with honors in economics, he decided he didn't want to be just another face in the crowd. He wanted to build an empire. With a modest initial investment, he began his journey on the stock exchange. The first years were tough, and Rafael often worked late into the night, sacrificing time with friends and family. But his determination was unwavering. Gradually, his hard work began to pay off. Rafael became a well-known name in the financial world. His companies grew, his stocks appreciated, and he accumulated an impressive fortune. With that, his lifestyle changed drastically. He bought an opulent mansion, luxury vehicles, and started attending high society events. However, with success came a change in his personality. Rafael, now a millionaire, became increasingly distant and cold. The wealth and social status that had once been symbols of success became his sole focus. He was more interested in negotiating astronomical figures than in cultivating personal relationships. The world around him became a stage for showcasing his power and wealth, and he frequently felt superior to those he considered lesser. He was known for his inflexible attitude and pride. His coldness was evident to all who knew him. His employees saw Rafael as an unrelenting boss who did not hesitate to show disdain for the smallest mistakes. He had no patience for others' failures or problems that were not directly related to his financial interests. At home, the situation was not much different. Rafael saw his employees, like Ana Luz, his daughter's nanny, as mere pieces of a large puzzle that helped keep his life organized and efficient. The concept of empathy or gratitude was far from his mind. For him, a person's value was directly linked to their ability to contribute to his success or status. Rafael was, at heart, as isolated as his luxurious surroundings. His rise was impressive, but it came with a significant cost. Rafael's ability to accumulate wealth and status was unquestionable, but the price he paid was the loss of meaningful human connections. In his world of opulence and financial glory, Rafael became a man whose heart was as cold as the marbles and precious metals that adorned his mansion. This was Rafael Valente, the millionaire who had conquered the world, but whose achievements had distanced him from the things that really mattered, the people and emotions that make life worthwhile. His success story, though brilliant and impressive, was about to take an unexpected turn, forcing him to confront the true meaning of value and humanity. The nanny angel Ana Luz. Ana Luz was a figure who radiated warmth and kindness, a true angel in the lives of those who knew her. She didn't possess material wealth, but her wealth of heart was invaluable. Ana began her journey as a nanny during a difficult time in her life. Coming from a modest neighborhood, where the days were a constant struggle to ensure the basics, she had faced immense challenges to get there. Before becoming the nanny for Rafael Valente and his family, Ana worked various modest jobs. She was a woman with an easy smile, and even when the days were tough, her spirit remained light. Her most recent job before becoming a nanny was as a secretary at a small primary school, where she helped children learn and grow with care. Despite the low pay and long hours, Anna never failed to offer a comforting hug or a word of encouragement. When the opportunity to work for the Valente family arose, Anna saw it as a chance to provide a better life for her young son, Gabriel. The salary offered was significantly higher than what she had earned before, which seemed like a light at the end of the tunnel. Despite knowing that the work environment would be demanding and that Rafael Valente was known for his coldness, Anna was determined to do her best for her family. From the first day at the Valente mansion, Anna dedicated herself entirely to Gabriel's well-being, Rafael's young son. She was much more than a nanny. She was a true friend and confidant to Gabriel, offering him not just care but genuine love and constant attention. Each day, Anna created activities that stimulated the boy's curiosity and creativity. She took him to the park, read him stories before bed, and prepared his meals with such care it seemed she was preparing a feast for a king. Despite her generous heart and dedication, Anna faced an environment that often did not recognize the value of her work. Rafael Valente was someone who saw the nanny as a functional part of his life, a necessary item in his home to ensure the smoothness of his routine, but he did not see the person behind the role. He never stopped to acknowledge the effort and affection Anna put into her work. To Rafael, Anna was merely a cog in the well-orchestrated machinery of his life, a cog that often went unnoticed. Anna faced many personal hardships that Rafael never knew about. Anna's life had been marked by a series of battles, from losing her husband in a car accident to struggling to pay the bills and raise her son alone. Despite all these adversities, she strove to maintain a positive attitude and do her best for Gabriel. Her days were long and tiring, and she often returned to her small house exhausted, but always with a smile for her son. Anna never complained and sought no recognition. She did what she did because she believed in the power of love and genuine care. Gabriel's smile upon waking, the joy in his eyes when he saw her, was her reward. She knew that her job was not just a profession but a mission in life. Her heart beat strongly in every gesture of affection and attention she gave to the boy, and even in the face of Rafael's indifference, Anna maintained her dignity and compassion intact. In this environment of wealth and power, Anna Luz was the gentle light that brightened Gabriel's day with her presence. She was a force of kindness amidst a world where human value was often overshadowed by the relentless pursuit of success and status. And although Rafael's recognition was distant, Anna's impact on Gabriel's life was immeasurable and true. The day of humiliation. It was a gray and rainy morning when the day began to crumble for Anna Luz. Rafael Valente was especially agitated. His financial empire was facing an unexpected crisis, and he was determined to control every detail, even if it meant taking out his frustration on those around him. The tense atmosphere in the Valente mansion's office was palpable. Anna Luz, as always, was doing her best to keep the environment calm for Gabriel. She had prepared a special breakfast for the boy, which included his favorite pancakes and a glass of fresh orange juice. Gabriel was sitting at the table, smiling contentedly as he ate, and Anna was by his side, adjusting the tablecloth and making sure everything was perfect. Rafael, who had arrived early to work on an urgent project, crossed the room with a face clouded with worry. His steps were heavy, and his gaze was sharp as blades. He was on the phone, discussing critical details about an investment, and the frustration of not being able to resolve the problem quickly was beginning to affect his behavior. When Rafael approached the table where Gabriel was sitting, he noticed that the boy's drink was slightly spilled. The minor incident, which was insignificant to anyone else, seemed to be the spark for Rafael's irritation. He turned to Anna Luz with a look of disdain, his tone of voice filled with coldness and contempt. "How could you let something so simple get out of control?" Rafael snapped, his voice echoing through the room. "Can't you even ensure that my son doesn't spill juice? This is unacceptable." Anna Luz, who was used to dealing with Rafael's criticism professionally, tried to remain calm. She approached to clean up the spill, attempting to offer a calm explanation. "I'm sorry, Mr. Valente. It was an accident and I'm already cleaning it up. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again." But Anna's attempt to smooth over the situation only made Rafael lose his patience even more. He raised his voice, making sure everyone in the room could hear. "This isn't just about a little spilled juice. It's about your incompetence in handling basic things. How can I trust you to take care of my son if you can't even keep the table clean? Anna's humiliation felt like a sharp knife cutting through her heart. The mansion staff, who were nearby, couldn't help but watch the scene, feeling the tension in the air. Each of Raphael's words was like a blow, and Anna was completely disarmed by the brutality of his criticism. Her face turned pale, and the eyes that usually shone with warmth and kindness were now filled with held-back tears. Anna tried not to let her emotions overflow, but the pain was intense. The embarrassment in front of her colleagues and the feeling of being treated with disdain hit her hard. She did her best to maintain her composure and quickly moved away from the table, trying to hide the tears that were about to fall. Raphael didn't stop. He continued to criticize Anna loudly, unaware of the devastating impact of his words. He emphasized how, in his view, any minor mistake by Anna was a reflection of a lack of dedication and competence. The public humiliation was complete, and Anna felt desolate, her heart heavy with pain and a sense of injustice. The rest of the day was marked by a heavy silence. Anna Luz continued her work, but her mind was distant, struggling to cope with the emotional pain she felt. The small spark of hope that kept her motivated seemed to have gone out, replaced by the shadow of a day that would be hard to forget. Raphael, in his relentless pursuit of perfection, did not realize the real impact of his cruelty and continued to focus on his financial problems, unaware of the suffering he had caused. The day ended with Anna Luz still dejected and Raphael, unaware of the extent of the wounds he had inflicted, immersed in his own concerns. This moment of cruelty not only marked a low point in Anna's life, but also planted the seeds of an inevitable transformation, which would be revealed later on. The strange package incident. On a day that seemed like just another in Rafael Valente's hectic routine, something unexpected happened. The Valente mansion was filled with the typical sounds of a busy morning. Employees rushing about, the smell of fresh coffee in the air, and the sound of Raphael's hurried footsteps as he answered a series of important calls. In the entrance hall, where a small table was decorated with a vase of flowers and some scattered documents, a small and unremarkable package was left by a delivery person. It was a simple package, wrapped in brown paper, and with an anonymous sender's label. The delivery person, hurried and somewhat brusque, had simply left the package and quickly moved on, leaving no time for questions. When Raphael arrived in the entrance hall and saw the package, he immediately realized it was not for him. The name on the address was Anna Luz. Raphael took a quick glance at the package, noting that there was nothing particularly interesting about it. In his mind, it was just another trivial item in the long list of tasks for the day. It must be something personal of hers, Raphael thought, disinterested. Probably a gift from some acquaintance or a household item. He picked up the package by its edges and placed it on a pile of papers on the table, next to other documents that needed his attention. Without further ado, Raphael returned to his work, immersed in the complexities of his finances and the constant pressure to keep his empire running smoothly. Anna Luz, meanwhile, was busy with her daily tasks, attending to Gabriel's needs and ensuring everything was in order. She did not notice the package immediately, absorbed in preparing the boys' lunch and ensuring the routine was smooth. Her mind was focused on things that mattered to her, like making Gabriel's day as happy as possible. It was only later, when Anna had a free moment, that she came across the package. She was passing through the entrance hall when her eyes fell on the forgotten item on the table. Curious, she approached and picked up the package, noticing the simple wrapping and the fact that there was no clear sender. With a sigh of curiosity mixed with a hint of anxiety, Anna decided to open the package. She felt a strange sense of anticipation as she unwrapped the brown paper. Inside the package, she found a small hardcover notebook, old and somewhat worn, and a handwritten letter. The letter was stained and had somewhat awkward handwriting, but what it said made Anna's heart race. Anna, you do not know me, but I know much about you and what you have been facing. This notebook belonged to someone who went through similar hardships. I hope you find comfort and wisdom in its pages. Do not give up. Your kindness will be rewarded. With affection, someone who cares. Anna, with her hands trembling slightly, flipped through the notebook. The pages were filled with notes, thoughts, and reflections on life, some of which seemed almost like a personal conversation with whoever had written them. There was a comforting feeling in the words and in the idea that someone, even a stranger, had thought of her and her effort. It was as if the package, though simple, carried a message of hope and support. Not knowing who had sent the package or their complete intentions, Anna felt a wave of gratitude and an unexpected lightness. It was a small gesture, but it deeply touched her heart. As she read the words in the notebook, she felt as if she were receiving a warm embrace from a stranger, a reminder that her kindness and effort had not gone unnoticed. To Rafael Valente, the package held no significance, merely a trivial item set aside. But for Ana Luz, the notebook and letter were a ray of light amidst the darkness of the day, a reminder that kindness still had a place in her world. The incident with the strange package revealed a layer of humanity and empathy that had been difficult to find in her daily routine, offering Ana a glimpse of hope that she would carry with her to face future challenges. The decision to arrive home early. It was a sweltering Friday, and the city was buzzing with activity as people prepared for the weekend. Rafael Valente, as usual, was immersed in a mountain of papers and last-minute calls. His office, an imposing room with glass windows offering a panoramic view of the city, was filled with documents and charts. The afternoon had started to drag, and the weight of responsibility seemed to press even more heavily on Rafael. He had lost track of time, and the frustration with recent financial issues was beginning to leave him exasperated. As always, traffic in the city promised to be a nightmare, with jams that could turn his drive home into a marathon of stress. Rafael looked at the clock, realizing it was later than he would have liked. The desire to escape the heavy traffic and gain a bit of time for himself became irresistible. He thought about how pleasant it would be to get home earlier, and perhaps have some time to relax before the weekend began. Without giving it much thought, he decided that it was the perfect time to make what seemed to be a simple and practical choice. "I'm leaving now," he announced to his assistant without further explanation. "The traffic should be lighter now, and I prefer to avoid the rush hour." With a quick organization of his papers and a final glance at his desk, Rafael gathered his belongings and left the office, unaware that this decision to leave home early would trigger a series of events he could never have predicted. As he drove, Rafael enjoyed the lighter traffic, his mind wandering between thoughts of a peaceful weekend and the worries that still haunted him. He was on his way back to his grand mansion, located in an upscale neighborhood, surrounded by well-maintained gardens and high walls that ensured privacy. Upon arriving home, Rafael noticed that the mansion was strangely silent. He entered through the main door, his step confident and his expression relaxed, expecting to find the familiar environment as always. The silence seemed unsettling, and the first thing he noticed was the absence of the usual cheerful sound of Gabriel playing in the living room. Rafael called for Ana Luz but received no immediate response. Feeling a slight unease, he decided to explore the house. As he walked through the elegantly and opulently decorated corridors, a growing sense of anticipation began to take over him. Rafael finally reached the room where Ana usually cared for Gabriel, and the scene before him froze him for a moment. Ana Luz was sitting on the floor next to Gabriel, who had a sad expression and swollen eyes from crying. She was trying to comfort the boy, but the look of helplessness on her face was evident. In front of her, the room was messy, with toys scattered about, and the mysterious notebook she had received earlier was open beside her. Rafael, still not fully understanding what was happening, approached slowly. His presence was noticed by Ana, who immediately stood up, trying to wipe away the tears from her eyes and compose herself. Rafael saw the anguish on her face and felt a pang of concern. Not wanting to ask more questions, he decided to investigate what had happened. Ana, with a voice choked by emotion, explained that the notebook and the letter she had received had been an unexpected source of comfort. She shared how the package and its words had touched her heart at a moment of need. During the day, she had tried to show Gabriel how the world could be kind and hopeful despite the difficulties. The unexpected arrival of Rafael, and the interruption of such an intimate and vulnerable moment, left a deep mark on him. He realized that the seemingly simple decision to come home early had revealed something he had not noticed before. The hardness and detachment he had displayed in his professional life were now confronted with the reality of Ana Luz's genuine effort, dedication, and love. Seeing Ana and Gabriel together, Rafael felt a weight of guilt and a new perspective on what really mattered. The unexpected encounter made him reflect on his own priorities and how the life he had built, with all its wealth and success, had neglected essential aspects of humanity and empathy. Raphael's decision to return home earlier, a simple and practical choice, turned out to be a turning point in his personal journey. That day, which began as an attempt to avoid traffic, became a moment of self-reflection and change. He realized that sometimes the most significant twists in life come from the most unexpected and seemingly trivial choices. The revelation of the package. Raphael Valente entered his mansion with the weight of the day's concerns beginning to dissipate, but a mix of surprise and curiosity took over him when he remembered the package left for Ana Luz. As he crossed the entrance hall, Raphael's gaze fell on the package still resting on the table, exactly where he had left it hours earlier. Now, with the house in a state of almost reverent calm, Raphael decided it was time to satisfy his curiosity about the small parcel. With a decisive gesture, he approached the table and picked up the package. The first thing he noticed was the simplicity of the wrapping. The brown paper was crumpled in some places, and the label with the name Ana Luz appeared a bit worn. Raphael hesitated for a moment, wondering if he should really open the package. Something about the situation seemed more intriguing than he had initially imagined. Finally, with a firm motion, he began to unwrap the package. The brown paper fell away in his hands, revealing a small wooden box. The box's finish was plain, but the wood seemed to have a rich, polished texture. Raphael felt a pang of curiosity as he slid the lid off the box. Inside the box was an aged notebook, its dark leather showing visible signs of use. Next to the notebook was a letter, carefully folded. Raphael, with his breath slightly quickened, picked up the letter first and unfolded it. The paper was thin and yellowed, and the handwriting was clear and precise. "Dear Ana, if you are reading this, it means you have found my gift. This notebook was my companion during the hardest times of my life. Here are my thoughts and reflections, written to help me find hope when everything seemed lost. I hope it can offer you a little of the same light it offered me. Remember, even in the darkest hours, kindness and love have the power to transform. With affection, an anonymous friend." Raphael read the letter attentively, feeling a weight of introspection grow inside him. The tone of the letter was warm and personal, something that contrasted deeply with the coldness he was accustomed to displaying. The notebook, it seemed, held a profound meaning for someone who until that moment remained a complete mystery. He then opened the notebook and flipped through some of the pages. The pages were filled with handwritten notes that ranged from philosophical thoughts and reflections on life to small personal anecdotes. There were also delicate illustrations and drawings that seemed to have been made with much care and attention. On one of the pages there was a particularly touching inscription: "True wealth is not measured by what we possess, but by how much we are able to touch the hearts of others." Raphael began to understand that the package, though simple at first glance, contained something much more significant. The notebook represented a source of wisdom and comfort, a deeply personal and carefully considered gift. He began to reflect on Ana Luz in a completely new way. Ana Luz, the woman who was often seen merely as a babysitter, had received a gift from someone who saw and valued her qualities in a way Raphael had never considered. The gesture of the anonymous sender offering such a personal notebook to Ana Luz spoke volumes about the positive influence she had on the people around her, even if Raphael had not noticed it before. As Raphael turned his thoughts back to Ana Luz, he began to reconsider his own attitudes and behaviors. The revelation of the package and the notebook made him see Ana not just as an employee but as a person with a history and a significant impact. The simple act of opening that package became a catalyst for a transformation in Raphael, forcing him to confront how he valued the people in his life, and to recognize the impact that empathy and genuine kindness can have. With a new understanding, Raphael felt an increasing desire to approach Ana Luz and acknowledge the importance she had in his family's life. The package and its contents were not just a gift, but a powerful lesson about true wealth and the value of human connections. The unexpected encounter. Night had fallen, and the Valente mansion was quiet, with the lights gently flickering through the windows. Raphael Valente, still with his mind buzzing after the discovery of the package, decided to take a walk around the gardens to clear his head. The air was cool, and the scent of evening flowers hung in the air, creating a relaxing contrast to the tension of the day. As Raphael walked along the stone path winding through the gardens, he spotted a soft light emanating from the tool shed at the far corner of the property. The shed was a small refuge that Ana Luz used to store Gabriel's toys and some gardening tools. Raphael decided to check what was happening, his curiosity heightened by the sense that something was about to be revealed. Approaching the shed, Raphael heard a soft sound of music and muffled laughter. He paused for a moment, trying to understand the source of the sounds. Slowly, he opened the slightly ajar shed door, and the sight that greeted him was both unexpected and touching. Inside the shed, Ana Luz was lying on the floor, surrounded by a group of neighborhood children. They were seated around her, their little eyes sparkling with anticipation. Ana was wearing a simple and comfortable dress, and her radiant smile lit up the room. In her hand, she held a storybook that she was reading to the children with an expression of tenderness and joy. The children, including Gabriel, were utterly captivated by the story. The book was filled with colorful illustrations and told a charming tale about courage and friendship. Ana Luz, with impressive skill, brought the words to life, dramatizing the scenes and imitating the characters with expressions and voices that captured the imagination of the little ones. Raphael stood at the entrance, absorbing the scene before him. The laughter and smiles of the children were contagious, and he noticed how significant those hours spent with Ana Luz were for them. Gabriel was particularly enchanted, his eyes fixed on the book and a smile of happiness on his face. He realized that Ana Luz was doing more than just her job. She was creating valuable memories and building an emotional bond with the children. In a corner of the shed, Raphael also noticed an improvised mural made with drawings and collages from the children, representing their own interpretations of the stories Ana Luz told them. There was impressive and dedicated work there, reflecting the passion and affection Ana put into her activities. The sight deeply touched Raphael. He saw Ana Luz not just as the employee he frequently overlooked, but as a person with a real and positive impact on the lives of those around her. Anna's gesture, her dedication to creating a welcoming and inspiring environment for the children, revealed a profoundly human and altruistic side of her that Raphael had never truly noticed before. As he watched Ana Luz interact with the children, Raphael reflected on his own actions and attitudes. He remembered how he had treated Ana Luz and how he often disregarded her. The contrast between how he saw her and the positive impact she had on Gabriel and the children made Raphael feel a wave of guilt and regret. He realized that he had underestimated Ana Luz's importance and the true essence of her character. The unexpected encounter in the shed illuminated a new path for Raphael. He understood that, despite all his wealth and success, he had neglected the human value and the power of small acts of kindness and dedication. The experience made him deeply reflect on how he treated people and how it reflected in his own life. Raphael decided he needed to change. He wanted to recognize and value Ana Luz's contributions and the people around him in a more meaningful way. Anna's gesture, reading stories and creating an environment of love and joy for the children, was not just a part of her job. It was an expression of who she really was. And this was something Raphael was determined not to ignore any longer. The transformation of Raphael. The scene Raphael witnessed in the shed had stirred a whirlwind of emotions within him. As the children dispersed, thanking Ana Luz for another magical evening, Raphael remained there, immersed in his thoughts. The humility and affection Ana demonstrated so naturally were a stark contrast to how he had treated those around him, especially Ana Luz. That night, as Raphael prepared for bed, his mind was far from his financial problems and daily challenges. He deeply reflected on the scene he had witnessed. The way Ana Luz devoted her time and energy, without seeking recognition, revealed a kindness and generosity that Raphael had never truly appreciated. The simple act of telling stories to the children, something seemingly trivial, had immense value that he had ignored. With a new sense of clarity, Raphael decided he needed to change. He understood that his limited view of success and power had blinded him to the true value of people and the small actions that, in reality, made a big difference. He was determined to correct his attitudes and make amends with those he had wronged. The next day, Raphael began taking steps to repair the harm he had caused. The first thing he did was seek out Ana Luz. She was in the garden, tidying up some of the things the children had used the night before. Raphael approached her with a sincerity she had never seen before. He felt a mix of nervousness and determination as he began to speak. "Ana, I need to apologize to you. Raphael started, his voice heavy with regret. I realized that in all my coldness and pride, I never truly valued how much you do for our family. I was wrong to treat you with disdain and ignore the positive impact you have. Ana Luz looked at Raphael with a surprised expression, her eyes showing a mix of curiosity and caution. Raphael continued, his voice firm and full of sincerity. Last night I saw how dedicated you are to the children, how you create an environment filled with love and joy. I realize that the way I treated you does not reflect the amazing person you are. I am deeply sorry and want to change that. Ana Luz did not respond immediately. She seemed to process Raphael's words, and the atmosphere between them was charged with emotion. Raphael then made a gesture demonstrating his desire to make things right. He committed to increasing her salary and providing better working conditions, as well as offering a special bonus as recognition for her dedicated work. But Raphael did not stop there. He also began to show a genuine interest in involving Ana Luz in decisions related to the well-being of the children. He organized regular meetings to discuss the children's development and asked Anna's opinion on how to improve their routines and activities. As Raphael implemented these changes, he also started to interact more with the team members and value their contributions. He made an effort to get to know the people around him better, showing respect and empathy. He began to participate in community events and activities, showing a real commitment to reversing his former egocentric view. The impact of the changes was felt in all aspects of his life. Raphael noticed that by treating others with dignity and consideration, he himself felt more complete and fulfilled. Relationships with his family and employees improved significantly, and the atmosphere at home and work became much more harmonious. Raphael's process of transformation was not instantaneous. It took time to adjust his mindset and actions, but the effort was rewarding. He discovered that true wealth was not only in money or status, but in how he treated people and the positive impact he could have on their lives. Raphael became an example of how reflection and regret can lead to true personal change. His journey of transformation helped him understand the true value of humility and respect, and the importance of recognizing and valuing the contributions of everyone around him. Raphael's story is a testament that it is never too late to change and make a difference in the lives of those around us. And so, Raphael Valente's transformation reminds us of something deeply important. True wealth is not measured only by money or status, but by how we treat the people around us. Raphael's journey shows how a simple act of reflection and regret can lead to a significant and positive change in our lives and the lives of those we touch. By observing Ana Luz's dedication and affection, Raphael was forced to confront his own attitudes and recognize the genuine value of the people in his life. This personal transformation not only improved his relationship with Ana Luz and his family, but also brought a new perspective on the importance of humility and respect. We hope Raphael's story inspires you to reflect on how you value the people around you and recognize the importance of every contribution, no matter how small. It is never too late to change and make a difference in someone's life, and sometimes that's exactly what we need to become better versions of ourselves. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more inspiring content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate notifications to stay updated with our content, and share this video with friends and family who may also benefit from these valuable lessons. Leave your comment below and let us know what you thought of the story. Your opinion is very important to us and helps us create more content that you will love. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.